right? Okay, now in discharging your duty in the public, public order is one of your role. Enforcement, public order, all right, to keep the public in order. So when you go out, you check for kalau enforcement, you are blocking the road for all the good reason. You are checking on the shop for all the good reason. You are checking the product for all the authority that you have, or you checking houses for dengue. All right, okay, be prepared, do a little research, right? Although you have a letter of authority, sometimes you will also be prepared to bring one or two with the understanding of the lifestyle. In some houses, some pokok are considered as taboo. All right. In some places, keeping a bowl of water with salt in it is a must. Right. So you see, when you're coming into the house to check for dengue, you see a bowl of water. All right. Okay. And they put a salt in it. Maybe there are no mosquito. But if they don't put a salt in it, all right, or they forgot about it, or in their lifestyle, why they have a bowl at the corner of the house in that way, and it breeds this mosquito. So in that situation, you have to understand, of course, that is a wrong act. The law says that it is a wrong act. How would you cope in that situation? To understand, to advise. Would it make a difference? All right, that if you do that in that way, that they are going to breach their adat. All right, okay, understanding. It is a time for a change. This is a time that the whole Tanah Melayu, Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak, a time to understand that we don't live with just three main race. We are living with, all right, four main race, all right, and ethnic group. Okay, so once we are pulling these people who are in their ethnic group to offer them job. Last time they don't need job. Now this everybody does. Right? Okay, so we are again pushing them to work. When they are working, they are more exposed to every single ethnicity in the country. It's time to have a decent behavior towards one another. It's time to have to change our view, our perspective. Race is not a problem anymore. That has already been encountered. It's ethnicity. Even the Indian have a lot of puak. Even the Chinese have a lot of puak. How do we know that? By looking into the deities, by looking into the statue that they go and pray every day. We called it in English the deity. All right, the dewa there. All right, okay, by understanding that, you can see this one with a different one, you can see this one with a different style. So be very careful and be very vigilant. All right, because in the future, when there is uncontrolled situation, all right, okay, uncontrolled situation, there will be a riot. And they will start hating the enforcement again. Right? Okay, this is the contemporary matters that you have to condone. What does condone mean? You have to all engulf and circle it, embrace it, right? Not simply for fun, but so that you can improve the way you disperse or you discharge your duty. So the third point is language. The first point is notice. Second point is meeting your objective too. For a decency, expect from your customer or the people you encounter in discharging. The third point is, right, language. And the third point is understanding their culture by looking around, by looking at them. All right. Okay. What are we doing? We are trying to reduce the anger from the public, so we can discharge your duty better. Next one. All right, let's look into this one. Today, as I said before, in order to improve our, in order to improve how we discharge our enforcement duty to the, to make sure that the public order in its proper objective, right? We have to understand history. History is very important. History, it's not supposed to be history is not supposed to be something that is of uh, something that is a myth. History is not a legend. History in law and in actual fact is something that makes you understand your own nature of your country. So history is very important. Yeah, all right. Bila your department is being open, that is history. And it's really important, isn't it? Then you know who is your veteran customers, right? So we give respect to those that we call a veteran customer. So the same thing goes to history in every aspect of life. So today we're looking into this history of multi, right? We're talking about here, you have read it or you haven't read it, religion is often implicated in both domestic and international conflict. So you see the word religion. The word religion sometimes is refused to be accepted at international law, right? Because at international law, it's not religion. They do not want to give the admiration of the terms to the prophet. Doesn't matter if the prophet is Muslim or the prophet is others, right? They always call religion in the human rights as belief, kepercayaan dan agama. Alright, that's the other thing that we have to start with, right? I'm sorry, it's not that I don't want to read it, but I want to talk about it so you understand. Reading it, you have done it, right? You have received it, you have done it. So some people, as I said, and the local situation, our neighbor situation, and at international plan, all right? Religion is always not accepted when we talk to our, all right, neighbor, when we talk to the person next to us. The question that what they would prefer is belief. Why? Because today in the understanding is religion doesn't play a role. All right, it's the belief that plays a role, right? The belief can be religion, but the belief is more. Okay, right? Belief is what? In the world, because of a belief, there's war twice. In the First World War, the belief is that every leader of a state believe they can acquire more resources, they can make their country rich, and wealth are coming to them if they can conquer, if they believe they can conquer more territory of the land and the sea. You see, what was the belief? It's not drawn by religion, no. All right, it's driven by the belief that they can be wealthy. Right, it's really very dangerous, that belief. It leads to World War I. That's why the Europeans are so hard up for the World War I, so that they be able to grab more land and build more factory. In fact, they will build more guns to have more, all right, ahead of them. Okay, every leader believe the more they have the territory, the more wealthy and respectable they are. Right, in the time before the modern world, we see, all right, Caesar, all right, Caesar, you know, the Roman thing, right, how he conquered through the belief. He has no religion, although the religion was very, very, at that time, is either you believe in the prophet or the new one. During Caesar, the new belief or the new religion was Christianity. All right. Okay, why do they kill these people who are putting on aspect that they are religious leader or chief? Why are they all killed? Because religion can pursue you to be good. A religion can make you understand that you have the rights. Therefore, my rights is protected by God. You see, religion is the one that is being suppressed over the belief. So in an international level, they will refuse to be called a person with religion. They normally wanted to be called a person with belief. So coming back into our country, all right, in our country, because of the information and communication that is that is spread and easily acquired, right, we are also prefer to assist ourselves and dominate ourselves with the belief instead of religion. Today, all right, today in this situation, have you read anything that says that if you are a good religious person, you can avoid COVID back, right? Other than those people who does not have religion? All right, is there a word that says if you believe, all right, in certain aspect of a group thinker, perhaps, all right, that you will survive from COVID-19 than those who does not have a belief? No, there's no such thing. Although we understand and we, in our hearts, we know, all right? But the one thing that everyone except, especially the medical group, is that you have to keep yourself clean. If you are exposed to a contact, either you know they have COVID or not, you have to protect yourself because it's in the air. All right. Okay. You have to cover yourself, keep yourself clean. Come back, clean your hand, they keep saying, isn't it? And then clean your mouth. And then you don't use all these masks every after one. What use? Just throw it away and use another. I don't have to teach you on that. But the point I'm making is that is a different aspect. That's the practical aspect. All right. It's no more coming from the belief. It's no more coming from religion. All right. Despite the fact, because of being clean, then you keep on looking. All right. The Chinese says because they live to the lifestyle of Confucius, all right, they are now able to condone. But that was not true anymore. All right. Okay. If we say in the Muslim world, all right, because in our religion, you keep yourself clean all the time, 5 times in a day, you will avoid this. But that's not true as well. You can see Arab country, right, our country, right? So at the end of the day, religion and belief, all right, is seen into the perspective of practical, right? Okay, into the practical aspect. So this practical aspect, all right, implicated both your domestic and international plane and also in everyday life when you discharge your duty, right? When you go and do your rounds or your inspection, when you see people does not wear a mask in Malaysia or adhere to the SOP, we find them. Right? Okay, so you see, although it's a big thing, right? Okay, on religious and belief, today the practical aspect come in front, standing to assist you in you discharging your duty as an enforcement officer. You, all right, equipped with this law that says if anybody doesn't follow the SOP, they will be fined, they will be punished. Right? Okay, so that is the changes. That is the changes that we are going to perhaps face from today and another few years until this virus able to be condoned. Quickly, they are spreading the vaccine, right? Okay, for all those groups, but it has not spread big enough. It has not spread wide enough. Okay, so coming back into you discharging your duty. So it is time now, all right, when you discharge your duty, all right, okay, although in your mandate of instruction that day, all right, you should look into the SOP, right, as it is, then with that SOP, you discharge your duty. Right, jadi, what is the changes? It's no more we're looking into religion and belief. So therefore, we have to understand in this society now, all right, we don't question the religion, we don't question the belief. We just question that you have not followed the SOP that is supposed to be the one that, all right, okay, the guideline of the day. All right, jadi in ancient time, all right, previously, it was one so that we know after this maybe we are going to come back, all right, and look into that our lifestyle is going to be guarded by religion and beliefs, right? What do we learn in the past is that at one time religion and belief is the one that make us change our perspective towards our neighbor, towards another, all right, but today that one is suppressed. Today, it is the SOP anywhere in the world. All right, some country put a punishment to it, some country it's not. All right, today when people go and have riot outside Malaysia, all right, it's not because of religion and beliefs anymore. It's because of, all right, support. All right, in America, there are riot now because of the election. Right? They want things to be fair. They want things to show their interest. Usually, when they have an election, the result will be not favorable. So they don't want to be cheated anymore. All right? Okay. Now, in our country, what's the moment? Okay, the moment everything, the moment, let's hope the virus come to be subdued, to be controlled, to be condoned, we are going to come back. Will religion and belief come back and surfaced? Right? So be very careful there, right? Okay, the next one to look is into the leader who associate. But before that, all right, let's look into this PowerPoint. Right, okay, we are here looking into at one time in history, religion and belief is supposed to be the one that going to influence the public, all right? And therefore, we have to understand them. That was in the future. That was in the history. All right. But because of the situation of virus, COVID-19, today, religion and belief, all right, in general, all right, in the public, seem to be suppressed a little bit. All right. But then what the new situation is that the SOP become, all right, the priority that you will have to look at. When we have SOP, all right, that need to be addressed by the public, they don't take into consideration that the SOP has some exception to the religion or to the belief. No such thing as, all right, exception. Everyone will have to adhere to the SOP and also to the adhere to the SOP. Right, so it is easier in discharging your duty today. All right, because, all right, as long as these people does not follow SOP in our country, there will be punishment. In some country, they will have to adhere to and forced to adhere to it. All right, country like England, they have punishment. They're making it a proper law. Country like in America, there are no punishment in some of the constituency. There are no fine, but they have to adhere to. All right. Okay, so that is the part that you understand before I take my break just now. All right, the second one is leader, influence of leader. In history, all right, okay, the leader influenced the public in history. Leader like Hitler, leader like Stalin, leader like Lenin, leader like those people who influence your brain, all right, Rasputin in Russia, for example. And those people who write. There are siapa tu? On the psychiatrist aspect, that start to introduce the uh, the similarity between men and women, right? The psychiatrists who bring that theory that men and women, although the weight of their brains are different, all right, but the aspect of influence. So everybody want to be a leader. Or for a long period of time, leaders are men, but later the women wanted to have equality. Those were the history showing to you that the leader can influence the public. Once the public is influenced, public order sometimes is being disrupted, or the support is just changing from the previous public group to another new public group. So that is the challenge you face in this second PowerPoint on the word leader within faith-based organization. All right. Okay. What do you learn? Let me just repeat. In history, leader also can influence the public order. All right. Okay. We see leader who influence public order towards war, seperti like Hitler, Lenin, Stalin. All right, and a lot of other leaders. That is leader in the government. There are also leader in behavior. Uh, Sigmund Freud. Anybody remember this chap? Sigmund Freud. This is the scholar who wrote about psychology of humans. This is the first professors that talks about that in order to influence people, right, in order to be a good leader, you have to influence their psychology. That is belief. All right, that is belief. So leader like Hitler, they can control your psychology. All right, they can control your aspect of thinking and behavior that you do what they want. All right, so leader like this have been in history. All right, so leader like this who have control your psychological aspect and also your authoritative aspect and your responsive aspect of the public order, that influence the work of an enforcement officer. All right, okay. Either you were made to arrest this 700,000 of Jews, isn't it? And put to death. Why does people want to do that? Because of their support, because of your behavior is being controlled by another who have authority. So one of these days, if you have time, just Google on Sigmund Freud, right? Okay, this chap talks about how we can control someone else's psychological aspect. By understanding them, make them a better supporter. By understanding them, make you a better enforcement officer in discharging your duty, in coping with the contemporary issue. Right? Okay, so you see, I've separated the religious belief and the leader. All right. In history, it has influenced the public order. In the future, what are you going to do? So this is the time of change. This is a time you be prepared with some changes. All right. So, but we use the understanding of psychological aspect of human beings in the positive nature, in the positive note, in the positive aspect, so that you'll be able to discharge the peace to the public order in a nature that you will not be all right, ridiculed for your behavior, right? So how do we do that? How do we do that? It's going to take a long time, this COVID virus to go away. So preparation can be done. So how do you understand as a leader, when you are the enforcement officer in the public, even though you are not the super director general, but you are in the public, you are seen with your uniform as the leader. What will you do? All right. Okay. The leader must display, number 1, an understanding. Number 2, you must know that you are being watched by, all right, the public all the time. So you must know what type of psychological aspect that you must, all right, you must show. You must portray to the public. Build it now. All right. Okay. So if you're a doctor, Bill, what is expected of you from the public? That is the psychological aspect that the public wants from you. Number 1, that you treat that. Number 2, all right. Number 2, you pay attention to their complaint. That is in hospital. The doctor, the nurses. Today is changes. The changing that you need. If you are the officer in environmental control department, all right, you must show that a complaint have been accepted, received, filed, and then will be attended. Right? Sometimes they call back and ask, I have complained about the pipe. What have you done? And then you say, we have discharged this, we have sent the people to look at it, we have an officer in charge of it. All right, okay, and definitely they wanted to talk about this to the boss, but you are the one in charge. All right, you make an appointment for them. Be now acceptable to the needs of the public. All right, so that you are the leader on that particular moment to attend to the problem in your enforcement agency. All right, okay, so that is the move that you want to do now. For the police, all right, okay, you know now your image is badly tarnished, right? So from now on, when you refuse, those people, they always wanted to bribe you, isn't it? They bribe you with a simple teh tarik at the desk. All right, okay, you must not have a teh tarik with this. Not that I say you must not, try to avoid, because you want to implant in their psychological aspect, their belief, the way you should discharge, that is honorable. If you are wearing uniform, refuse to go to the warung. Go after you have, during your break. If you want to have a teh tarik in a warung, if you can do that, right, with only your group in a private corner. All right, okay. If you want to have it with a good friend who is the public, do it after you have discharged your duty for that day. Right? Okay, that is the reason why long ago in the military, in all the uniform bodies, there will be a place that is designated for them to have a break. All right, in the army, they have the messes. Right, and in the police, they have the place that they go. All right, so these are covered by, right? Today, we see them having a break. It's not wrong to have a break. No, it's the perspective that who you have a break with. That's the one that we want to change. The psychological aspect of the police, it's no more into the public. Every time when you go for the tea, the next people who are watching you to say that you are drinking for free. Even though you are the one that is going to be paying for the amount of teh tarik to the shopkeeper. You yang belanja, all those people not. They are the one treating you for fun. All right. Okay, clean that image first. All right. Second one, respect the uniform. I'm sorry, I'm not teaching you. I'm just putting a perspective. How psychological aspect, all right, influence your control to the public order. All right. Okay. You must do that. Respect this uniform. All right. So to that nature, small aspect, but then respect your uniform. In that uniform, all right, you will behave to the best. All right. These are the years that we are given a chance to correct. All right. Okay. If you see help that is needed on the street, I'm saying to all of you who are wearing uniform, help should be encountered. When people come rushing to you and say they need a little assistance, you calm them down and try to give them assistance if you can. But if you worry of your rates or this fella is going to hurt you, then call for asking them to wait, that you make a call for a better aspect. This is a common behavior, but I've seen it missing. All right, maybe because you were very busy, all right, okay, that training, it's all concentrating into improve your education, but training forgot to give you the daily relationship. Maybe as a leader one day, you will request ethnic behavior. When you are facing Chinese, when you are facing Indian, when you are facing the Bumiputra. All right, okay. These are the situations that need to be understood. All right, so training need to be there. As an enforcement officer, including me, all right, we always go for training on public speaking. But it's only one aspect. What must be there is training on public behavior. All right, it's not just speaking, it's behavior. All right, behavior, the military respect. So maybe that kind of military respect. In the law, if you are magistrate or magistrate to be, you're not allowed. There are long lists that you're not allowed to do. Sitting in the warung and having a drink is my favorite task of my husband. But if you do that, all right, I will be a bad magistrate. After 3 months of being a magistrate, I've decided that, okay, I'm going to quit from being a magistrate and find another job. That was long ago when I was offered a job as a magistrate, because my husband loves to wear a short, military people, all right, and go to the pasar with a shop and then makan with all the public people, all right, not in his uniform, but in his favorite short with a long stocking, right. I know I'm not being able to change them, all right. They love the Chinese people, they're to be friends with them, so I have to change, right? Not that I've sacrificed, I change. I've decided to, all right, be a lawyer, and later I was offered the job as a lecturer. All right, okay, certain things, certain time have to change, right? Leader over here have played a different role. You become a leader to the public. With the help of understanding behavior, you take good care of your behavior so that through your behavior, we understood from the past, all right, through behavior, psychological aspect can be changed. Hitler was just a painter, but his control over the psychological aspect of the people through his behavior, through his adamant word, right? He was supported. Of course, that is a crime, right? We are talking about how understanding the psychological aspect of the people, the massive people, the public, all right, you'll be able to change. In the coming years, contemporary issue that probably can be controlled, a public order can be controlled.